Welcome once again to the Solid Signal podcast for the week of February 19th, 2018. As I record this, it's President's Day, which I've always thought was a little bit of a cheat, to be honest with you. Back when I was a kid, you had Lincoln's birthday, you had Washington's birthday, and you got both of them off from school. And now you got kind of President's Day, which is more generic, and you only get one day off if you're a teacher or a student, and no days off if you're in business. That doesn't seem incredibly fair to me, but oh well, let's soldier on. The subject for this week's podcast is, suddenly, it's 2018. You know, going back way before I was really aware of it, and before most of us, I think, were aware of this, back in 1957, Chrysler ran an ad that said, suddenly, it's 1960. They were trying to say that their cars were so futuristic that they looked 3 years ahead of everything else. And I don't know what that has to do with the subject of this week's podcast. It's just one of those things that flew out of my mouth today. It's Monday, folks. Come on, give me a little bit of a break. Let's get back to suddenly it's 2018. You may not have thought too much about your home theater experience in the last 3 years. You might have been on the fence as far as whether or not to get a 4K television. You might have even listened to me and not gotten a 4K television because I advocated not to. You might not have changed your satellite TV setup. You might have added a streaming device of some sort, but, hadn't really thought about it. Your audio-video receiver, if it's anything like mine, dates to sometime shortly after the dinosaurs went extinct, and everything's just been running fine. Well, it's time to really think about stuff again. It's time to really wake up and look at what's in your home theater and how it can be better. Let's start with the television. A good 4K television is now within grasp. Get a 4K television that supports HDR10 and you will be happy. No matter what size you get, you're going to find that it's really good looking and you can't go wrong even at a price point under $1,000. I'm saying this, of course, not that Solid Signal sells televisions, but we sell things that plug into televisions and you may as well be happy with what you have. For satellite TV, it's really time to upgrade, folks. Really is. If you're still rocking that old DirecTV HR44 DVR or Hopper with Sling, now's the time to see what's really out there. You can get a Genie 2 system that will give you 7 rooms of television with one single device with fewer black boxes and a much better experience using DirecTV ready televisions or little client boxes, whichever makes you happy. For Dish, the Hopper 3 records 16 things at one time and gives you 8 rooms of video and even lets you add a second Hopper 3 for a total of 32 recording tuners and 16 rooms. Honestly, folks, most of us are not going to need more than that. When it comes down to streaming, again, something that Solid Signal doesn't really sell a whole lot of, it's time to look at those 4K streamers. They're awfully inexpensive. You can get one for $45 or $50, although the good ones are really still north of $100 because there is some 4K content out there available on streaming. And if you've got fast internet, if you are getting anything close to the promised 100 megabits per second that your cable or internet provider is giving you, then you're probably going to get decent 4K. Still not as good as what you would get from DirecTV or from Dish, but still pretty darn good. Finally, it's time to take a look at that old AV receiver that you've got there. Is it really doing everything that you want it to do? Would a soundbar work just fine for you? Or are you one of those people who really wants to upgrade to Dolby Atmos and get, 25 channels if you really want to do it? Either way, I've been looking at audio-video receivers as well, not something we sell at Solid Signal, but still part of the whole package, and found that you can really get some awesome deals under $300 for everything you could possibly ever want, or a very reasonable soundbar for about $100. Just make sure that it accepts the kind of connection that comes out of your television or you will be severely disappointed. All in all, there has not been this good of a time to get into home theater for many, many years. And I'm pleased to hear that because I've worried for a long time that home theater as sort of an enthusiast thing has started to go by the wayside. But there's great stuff out there. It's not super costly. And the best part of it is that it all works together in ways that it never really did before. And of course, I think the core of all of it is your pay television system, DirecTV or Dish. And if you're looking for the best deals on that, you'll find them at solidsignal.com. Streaming is a lot of fun, but it's still not as much fun as pay television.